Not every city has a tram network, and even fewer cities have an international tram network. Let's explore CTS's Tram Line D in Strasbourg, France. And Kiel, Germany, too. Can't forget the international part. Strasbourg, France is located just west of the Rhine River, which coincidentally also serves as the border with Germany, at least on this section of the river. On the German side lies the small city of Kiel. Of Strasbourg's 6 tram lines, only Line D crosses the border into Germany. We'll be boarding at Kiel Rathaus, or Kiel City Hall, the eastern terminus of Line D. From there, we'll pass the other 2 tram stops on the German side before crossing the Rhine into France. From there, we'll go as far as Porte de l'Hôpital to explore the historic Old City. Line D continues west to serve Homme de Fer, a major tram junction, and Gare Centrale, Strasbourg's main train station, before terminating at Poterie, with an interchange to Tramline F. As you can see on this map from one of the stations, there's quite a bit of interlining and good interchange points even outside of just the center of the city. Now, to me in Kiel.
Getting on a tram into Strasbourg, France. That should be cool. I've never been to France before. And I've also never ridden international local transit, so this could be really cool. So this is literally the end of the tram line. We got the end of the tracks. And we're at Rathausplatz. Very German sounding, mostly because we're in Kiel. So, I don't know if y'all can see too well. We got 14 minutes and then 45, so frequencies are about every half hour at around 7:30 in the evening. It is worth noting, it is a holiday. It is the Ascension Day, so a lot of stuff's closed. So it makes sense that transit runs less frequent. So, because this is an international tram, we've noticed that the Deutschland ticket is only valid from Kiel Bahnhof to Kiel Rathaus. We're going towards Kiel Bahnhof, which after that it goes into France, so once you get out of Kiel, the ticket's invalid. So you gotta buy an actual tram ticket, which I have. See, there's some German on top and then French at the bottom, at least in terms of names. And see, here's a language I can understand. Great. Here's a language I cannot understand. Help. Just kidding. French is a little scary though. You got some interesting tram signals. It's a red T instead of like the typical white lines you'll see for German tram signals. And American transit signals, for that matter. Some very DC Metro-esque seating. These really cool benches at Rathausplatz, at the Kiel Rathaus. They've got some nice modern on-board wayfinding. Alright, we are moving.
After waiting for a bit, we eventually depart Kiel Rathaus. This and the next stop opened in 2018 as a part of an extension from Kiel Bahnhof.
Okay, this tram has the best station announcements I have heard on any transit system ever. Good job, Strasbourg. The announcements on the German side are in German.
Before the last stop in Germany, we travel along a street that looks extremely American. Wide road, car dealerships, and fast food. It's an interesting place for a tram.
Alright, we are approaching the last stop in Germany, aka Kiel Bahnhof.
The tram stop at Kiel Bahnhof opened in 2017 with an eastward extension via Porte and via a new bridge over the Rhine, marking the start of international tram service on the modern tram network of Strasbourg. There was a historical tram and it did serve Kiel, but it closed in 1960, with the link between Strasbourg and Kiel being severed by 1919 after Strasbourg came under French control, which left 2 separate tram networks, one on either side of the river. The first part of the modern tram network opened in 1994, and the network has been gradually growing since. Once we reach the French side of the river, we pass a tram parked in a siding by Porte where trams can lay over if they're not going across the river into Germany. There are 2 main kinds of vehicles that operate on Strasbourg's tram network, the Eurotram and the Alstom Citatis. The Eurotram was the first vehicle to operate on the modern tram network of Strasbourg, and they look unlike any other tram I've seen. Strasbourg's transit agency, CTS, Compagnie des Transports Strasbourgeois, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, later made multiple orders for Alstom Cited trams. The older trams, from what I found, aren't certified for operation in Germany, but at least some of the newer Cited trams meet German standards and can cross the border. So you'll only find Alstom trams on the German portion of the network. You'd only get this kind of issue with international transit, but I'm glad this region has invested the time and the resources into extending local rail transportation into Germany.
What is nice here is they do off-board fare payment, so you pay before you get on. Also, the weirdest door closing sound ever.
Prochaine arrêt. Prochaine station. Jean Jaurès.
France, why are your tram announcements so fancy?
Prochaine station, Étoile Blanche.
Overall, the rest of our ride into Strasbourg is pretty comfortable. The lovely station announcements and excellent onboard wayfinding really made a difference. Other transit agencies could really do a lot more with audible and visual elements they use on their networks, and I think CTS is a great example to follow.
Alright, so this is Porte de l'Hôpital, I think. I don't speak French. But yeah, this station is really cool. Some nice, like, slightly elevated platforms. It is level boarding with the trams. Low floor trams, of course. For this level of the platform, ignore the motorcycle. Nice platform departure boards. So, I don't know. I love older vehicles. These modern trams, I love them. I don't know what it is. I think it's partially, it's the fun announcements they play at every stop. They're all unique. I love it. Definitely might be my favorite tram system. We'll see.
From Porte de l'Hôpital, we explored much of the old city of Strasbourg. We were here the next day as well, and yes, I do have more Strasbourg content filmed, and I can say that Strasbourg is one of my favorite cities I visited in Europe. The mixing of architectural styles and the buildings and the streets going right up to the edges of the waterways in the city is really lovely. Also, the Notre Dame de Strasbourg Cathedral is stunning, so there's a lot to see in the city for sure. Eventually though, we needed to head back to Kehl where we were staying, so we waited for a Line D tram towards Kehl at Homme de Fer.
Alright, so I'm at Homme de Fer, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's just this like nice circular glass tram station. Waiting for a tram back into Germany. Should be 14 minutes. I mean, frequency okay for like almost 10 in the evening, but we'll be waiting here for a minute. Sign just changed, but I think it said 2 minutes, and I think that is our tram coming down the street. So like this is one of the older trams. It's noticed by the different interior, lack of digital like not dot matrix screens. These are just like simple dot matrices. I mean, they work, and they have the map on the side. And yeah, still look pretty nice. We are almost to the last stop in France, which is Port-de-Rhin. We'll let you know how crossing the border goes. We shall see. Interestingly, no warning at all, telling you, by the way, this is the last stop in France. No warning, just saying station name and closing the doors. And they had one here earlier, but there is a siding here where you can just kind of park a tram. So they can short-term trams short of the German border if they don't want to run them all the way over. And the weird announcements have come back and the language has switched back to German, so. Alright. Here's the Rhine. That's a tram. And we're back in proper Germany. There's the train station, but we will let you know what happens when we actually stop the tram here. I won't film it, so I will report back to you guys. Alright, doors are closed. And maybe they'll let us go. Oh, and we're moving. Excellent, that was not hard. They didn't ask for ID, they just looked, basically got on, looked around, and got off. They did stop people getting off the tram at the end of the platform, and I'm assuming it's the same thing. We're only going one stop further into Germany, so yeah, pretty easy border control. You'd have a lot easier of a time on the tram than driving a car. There's a massive traffic jam getting over here. Weird announcements. Alright, so I just got off at Hochschule Lisle, which is the second stop into Germany, and the second to last stop for the line ends at the Rathaus, or City Hall, of Kehl. Overall, crossing the border back into Germany is fine. Sorry about the light. There we go. Crossing over the border was fine. Not a problem. Didn't even get asked for a passport, German ID, anything. Yeah, pretty easy. I'll do it again tomorrow because I'll be going back into Strasbourg and coming back out here to use the train station because we're not paying to take the regional train from Strasbourg when we can take the tram and then get the Deutschland ticket train from Kehl.
See, it made more sense to use Germany's nationwide monthly Deutschland ticket to get to Kehl, the last stop before mainline trains cross into France, and then to use the local tram system to cross the border to save money on buying a mainline train ticket into France. Single-trip tickets for CTS's urban transit lines cost €1.90, and a 24-hour pass costs only €4.60, even if you're coming from the German side. But the only part of the Strasbourg tram network on which the Deutschland ticket is valid is the German portion of Line D between German stations. Overall, Strasbourg's Tram Line D is pretty neat, with cool trams and good connectivity to other transit lines in Strasbourg, all while serving as an important international transit link between Kehl and Strasbourg. There's even a cool internationally themed wrapped tram with the German and French flags as well as an EU-inspired design, as Strasbourg is one of the cities where the European Parliament meets. The announcements on board the trams were really fun, both on the German and French sides of the border. I actually got clearer recordings the next day, so here's a couple examples. As you approach Hochschule Lisle, you'll hear this. And as you approach the Line D terminus at Kehl Rathaus, you'll hear this announcement.
Nächster Halt, Endstation, Kehl Rathaus. Sorge, Kehl, Totus, Endstation.
Terminus.
So CTS scores pretty high in terms of fun, and I think a lot of other transit networks could increase their fun factor if they also used cool announcements like this. But regardless, the tram network of Strasbourg is solid, even if service on the holidays like we were there may not be the greatest. I don't think I can say it's my absolute favorite tram network of all time. I think Budapest might still hold that title, but I think I can say it's my favorite modern tram network. Strasbourg did a really nice job with it, and it's cool that they've been expanding the network over time. With all that being said, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and or subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments what you think of Strasbourg's trams. And as always, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see y'all in the next one.